Joining me right now with more on all of this is Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. She's a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee and Finance Committee. Senator, it's good to see you this morning. I guess no surprise that the DOJ is indicting Gal Luft. Your reaction?
One of the things that everyone is wanting to know is what is the extent that Biden Incorporated has operated with foreign entities and who all have they been involved with in this process. And so you have Gal Luft who says, yes, we've got this information. He brings this forward. As Representative May said, they want to interview him so that they can get to the bottom of this. But Maria, it's important to note that as these investigations continue and as you see this White House and DOJ and FBI having to protect the Biden family because of these interactions that have taken place by Joe Biden's family or the alleged actions that have taken place, then at some point this is going to begin to crumble. This is another piece of this. This is someone who it appears may have been involved in some of these transactions and can provide more specificity to the committee. And what they need to do is line up people and these banking records following these financial records, and Chairman Comer has done an excellent job of securing these banking records to show the money flow. I think it helps to bring about a more fulsome picture. It is answers the American people want to know what type corruption, if there has been, exactly what has taken place.
So what can you do on the Judiciary Committee, Senator? I mean, look, how are you going to get whistleblowers to come forward when one of your most important whistleblowers was just indicted?
Yes, and Senator Grassley, of course, has been the one who has led so capably in dealing with whistleblowers, continuing the hearings that we have, working through these hearings on the FBI, Christopher Wray, working through DOJ, Merrick Garland, keeping the pressure there. But Maria, the crux is winning control of the Senate in 24 and control of the White House will help us to unravel this. And I hope to goodness that the next Republican president elected in 24 will make it a priority to reform the federal bureaucracy. Recouping these Article I powers of Congress needs to take place so that not only it's controlling the finances, but it is restructuring and right-sizing the federal government and recouping that power so that Congress, the people, have the say and not the bureaucracy telling Congress what they're going to do.
Meanwhile, the Biden administration filing an emergency appeal, hoping to suspend a ruling which prevented government officials from telling social media companies what to censor. I mean, this just gets worse and worse, Senator. The Judiciary Committee released a report accusing the FBI of working with a Ukrainian intelligence agency to pressure social media companies into taking down accounts accused of spreading Russian disinformation, which was not Russian disinformation. Senator, we've been through this before. We know what was happening with the Twitter files. We know as a result of the exposing all of this collusion between government officials and Twitter that the administration was trying to amplify lies and suppress truth. And it's continuing.
Yes. Well, it is continuing, and this is why we continue to work to hold social media to account. It's why we continue to push federal privacy, online privacy legislation. And it is why we continue to work on Section 230 reform. Maria, you cannot have this White House working with social media to compromise an individual's free speech. Everyone has those free speech rights. And this is part of the larger problem with this White House. If there is anything happening happening that they don't agree with, then they want to shut you up. And they're looking for complete agreement. And you see this coming from the left all the time. It's part of the cancel culture. It is part of what they are doing to control the narrative. If you are not in agreement with them, they want to take you down. And it doesn't matter if it is something politically, if it deals with our military, religion, the economy. They want you to be in lockstep with them. They want you to kowtow to them, just like we had yelling over there, kowtowing to the Chinese Communist Party.
Well, unfortunately, these have serious national security issues for America, specifically when dealing with China. You and several of your colleagues are sending a letter to the Department of Justice and the FBI, urging them to investigate Chinese service centers in 7 U.S. cities. You're warning that the CCP is using these centers to intimidate and surveil Chinese Americans. Tell us more about this. What's going on? We just learned recently, over the last year, about all of these police stations in America where surveillance is continuing. And you also have the surveillance balloon. What's going on in these cities?
Yes, and Maria, this is part of that soft propaganda that the Chinese Communist Party has pushed forward. We've seen it in Confucius classrooms, Confucius institutes, sister city programs, and now we find out that these cultural centers have actually been used as surveillance centers so that the Chinese Communist Party can surveil people that are here in the U.S., Chinese citizens that are here in the U.S., or individuals that have come here to work. So what they're trying to do is use these as surveillance centers. We know they're doing it on Chinese people. What we are wanting to do is to see how far this has spread. Are they surveilling Americans? We are looking at these 7 cities where we've been able to pinpoint these OCS, as they're called, these centers, and look at what they're actually doing behind these closed doors. What type of surveillance are they getting? We know they're very aggressive in this. They do not fear this administration. They feel as Joe Biden is weak. He is not going to hold them to account, that they've got this administration over the barrel. So they are very aggressive. And the surveillance balloon is part of it. You've got all these other aggressive points, whether it's Taiwan or the Chinese people the CCP is pushing against. And here, using that soft propaganda so that they can surveil Chinese actions here in the U.S.
Very serious stuff, Senator. We'll be watching. Thanks very much for being here this morning.
You got it.